probably heard me being referred to as several names. For future reference, outside of performing on a stage and outside of my past, you may call me O. I know a lot of people know me, but I also know that I am relatively new to some people here, and so allow me to introduce myself. I am a performer, an activist, a producer, a dancer, an adventurer, a fighter, and a lover. I've lived in Western Pennsylvania practically my whole life. I am 32 years old, and I've come a long, long way in those 32 years. I was not always the person you see before you. Throughout the seasons of my early life, the dark days outnumbered the sunny ones. Growing up in small town Appalachia was not easy for someone like me. I never knew how to fully hide who I was. Surely I tried, but I just simply couldn't not be. And back then, I despised that about myself. No matter how hard I tried, how hard I prayed, or how hard I cried, at the end of the day, I was never anyone but me. Growing up, I heard a lot of people say, "Why do you walk like that? Why do you move like that? Why do you dress like that? Why do you talk like that?" And again, I tried to change those things, but again, I could not. Upon moving to Cleveland and discovering their extremely lively and active LGBTQIA scene, my life changed. A new season had begun. I saw that I was far from alone and that my experiences were shared by many. Had I ever stopped being me, like I so desperately tried, I never would have made the decision to leave my small town. I saw a vitality that I had never seen before. I saw a community that supported one another, that had their own chosen families, that was so very talented and ever changing. Those things about myself within my darker days that I had tried to change were things that were literally applauded within this community. For the first time in all of my seasons, I saw me. I felt as if I had spent decades in the dark and I was just now seeing the light. For a long time, the darkness was all I knew. And isn't it beautiful? Do the stars in the night sky not need the dark to shine? Does a seed not need the dark soil to grow? And is the womb not a dark place also? The darkness covers like a blanket, and although in your hardest times, that blanket can feel suffocating, without it, how would we really appreciate the breath of fresh air that is the light? Without darkness, we have none of that light. This past Sunday, I watched my father take his last breath. For 32 years, I had a dad, an experience I am sure I now share with many others. Going back to my early life, when I had mentioned the dark days outnumbering the bright ones, my father was a heavy contributor to that. He was my dad, but he was also my abuser. So as he laid on his deathbed last week, I had a battle of light and dark emotions and thoughts raging through me. I've never been through anything harder. The moment had come where I had the opportunity to have one on one time with my dad as he lay in a coma. The doctors told us that he could still hear, and oh, did I have a lot to say. I entered his room, closed the door behind me, and approached the jungle of medical tubing that entangled every inch and orifice of my father. "Hey, Dad, it's me," I said, already choking up. "I have some things I want to talk to you about. I want you to know how much you have hurt me, and that you have hurt me in ways that I will now have to carry for the rest of my life. And it is not fair that when I finally confronted you about all of the hurt, you took zero accountability and denied everything. But please know, with that being said, that I understand that there was no one there teaching you how to raise a kid like me. I cannot blame you for what you didn't know. You were the exact parent I need you to be for me to turn out to who I am today. And I love myself, Dad, and I love you, and I forgive you, and I am so proud to be your kid." His body jerked during the more emotional parts of our conversation, as if he were trying to get out of his skin. I imagine it was as hard for him to hear all I said as it was for me to say it. 32 years of darkness that I had carried around was lifted out of my life in that moment. The death of a parent so loved released me from that burden. And in that moment, I truly and fully learned how to forgive, something I may never have learned had I not gone through what I just went through. Due to the state of my dad's body as he laid in the hospital, he became a perfect candidate for organ donation. I'm very happy to share that he has provided the gift of sight, and he has also saved 2 lives by doing so. Every dark cloud has a silver lining. Closure is never guaranteed, but boy, is it sweet when you do get it. Within your darkest moments, never stop being you, and always know that if you are in the dark, surely there is a light somewhere. And when going through the dark, keep going. Life without adversity is a life without progress. Recently, a group of us have formed an LLC, Pride Alliance Indiana, PA. our goal being to ensure consistent vitality within the LGBTQIA plus community of our local area. As a drag queen of 6 to 7 years and the founder of Outhouse, my own drag house, I became not only the head of the entertainment department, but also the vice president of the LLC. The adversity we all face simply to be ourselves is a battle worth fighting every day. Not a day goes by that if I go outside, I don't get something homophobic said to me. Sometimes it gets to the point of where I fear for my safety, whether it be from a passing car window, someone on the sidewalk, or even in the safety of a store. Some people become absolutely livid and enraged simply at my presence or because I'm walking by. Hatred, bigotry, all of the phobias, and all of the isms stem from ignorance. They come from a place of not understanding. People tend to fear what they don't know, whether they want to admit it or not, or whether they even understand that concept. By facing these adversities and being our authentic selves while we continue to do what we are doing, we will then normalize our presence. While it will be definitely more difficult at first, as time goes on, more and more people will see us and thus get used to us. Visibility is key when it comes to mitigating the ignorance that fuels the negativity within people. Having shows, fundraisers, street sweeps, and other social outing events does just that. It provides us with that visibility, and safely as a group, we are then able to represent our authentic selves, thus normalizing our existence over time. The more we do, the more we are seen, and the more we educate those ignorant. Even standing here today, I am doing just that. Our adversities inspire bravery within us to look out for one another and to stand up for one another. Again, strength from darkness. Also, in these moments, we share our vulnerability with one another. Vulnerability opens the door for understanding and peace. Through shared vulnerability, we gain connection and bonding with one another. All of this is made possible because of adversity. If we remember this and keep it in our back pocket, the next time your day gets a little dark, reach in there and pull this thought out and ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? Sometimes we can only see the light if it is dark. Just like the seasons and tides, we also shift and ebb and flow. The only single thing that life promises is change. Nothing remains and everything goes. So take that information and keep it at the top of your head because it can only do you good. Get comfortable with the fact that all is passing and we are lucky enough to exist within such a beautifully complex and fleeting world. If all remained, what would there be to appreciate? For every rainy day, there is a sunny day. For every night, a morning. For every cold day, a hot day. And for every death, a birth. Life is about balance, and we reflect the nature in which we live. Do fingerprints not look like the rings of a cross-section tree? Do freckles not look like constellations, veins like tree roots, and eyes like whole galaxies? We are as wicked as a storm, yet as gentle as an evening breeze. We are all of it and everything. Nothing is too big or too small to love, and love is something this world can never get enough of. So with that in mind, if no one has told you yet today, I love you. And if you are going through some adversity now in your life, keep going. Nothing is stronger than the energy that you have the ability to tap into within yourself. When this is fully acknowledged and then achieved, nothing is impossible and there will be nothing that you can't handle. So let's celebrate our struggles and applaud our victories because without one, we wouldn't have the other. And let's be grateful for the time that has passed and treasure those with whom we have passed it because tomorrow isn't promised. So let's live and love for today.
I would like to bring to your attention that there is a red basket out in the entryway where a collection is being taken to help with O's father's final arrangements. So please consider helping with that. Our closing hymn is number 354. We laugh, we cry.
strength of love, and we have found what we need to be together. We have our hearts to give, we have our thoughts to receive, and we believe that sharing is an answer. The child is born among us, and we feel a special glow. We see time's endless journey as we watch the baby grow. We thrill to hear imagination freely running wild.
We dedicate our minds and hearts to the spirit of this child.
And we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found the time to be together. And with the grace of age, we share the wonder of youth, and we believe that growing is an answer. Our lives are full of wonder, and our time is very brief. The death of one among us fills us all with pain and grief. But as we live, so shall we die, and when our lives are done,
The memories we share with friends, they will linger on and on.
and we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found a place to be together. We have the right to grow, we have the gift to believe that peace within our living is an answer. We seek elusive answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind.
And then we come together here to make sense of what we find.
And we believe in life and in the strength of love, and we have found the joy of being together. And in our search for peace, may we finally see, even to question truly is an answer.
I invite you to join me in saying together our words to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish our chalice flame, but not the warmth of community.
We leave this gathered community, but we don't leave our connection, our concerns, our care for each other, our service to each other, to the world, and to our faith continues until we are together again, friends. Be strong, be well, be true, and be loving. Blessed be. So mote it be.
Yeah, you just take a deep breath and
Nice.